Welcome to Building the Future, hosted by Kevin Horick. With millions of listeners a month, Building the Future has quickly become one of the fastest rising programs, with a focus on interviewing startups, entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, and more. The radio and TV show airs in 15 markets across the globe, including Silicon Valley. For full showtimes, past episodes, or to sponsor the show, please visit buildingthefutureshow.com.
Welcome back to the show. Today we have Cyndy Trivella. She's the Vice President of Strategic Relations at WorkScene. Cyndy, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much, Kevin. It's great to be here. How are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, first off, Happy New Year. I'm excited to have you on the show. I think what you guys are doing at WorkScene is actually really innovative. But maybe before we get into that, let's get to know you a little bit better and start off with where you grew up.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Connecticut.
Okay.
And I graduated with honors from Westfield State University in Massachusetts.
Okay. What did you take and why there?
I was a liberal arts major.
Okay. What made you want to take art growing up?
Well, it was liberal arts.
Okay.
So I had a lot of interest. I liked English, I liked history, I liked science.
Sure.
I really didn't have a definitive plan for what I wanted to do with any one of those.
Okay.
So I decided, let's just, be educated on all of that, and we'll see what happens afterwards.
No, very cool. So walk me through your career up until WorkScene, because you've done a bunch of stuff, and I think it's very much relevant to your involvement with WorkScene.
Yeah, thank you. So my first job out of college was working in corporate human resources as a training and development coordinator.
Okay.
It was for a regional retailer in the New England area. Unfortunately, that retailer went out of business, so I made a quick move to publishing.
Gotcha.
And worked as a senior account manager for a major newspaper in Connecticut. When I was there, I served as the conduit between the newspaper and the recruitment marketing agencies in North America. And that's when my career started to get very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So walk me through that journey.
Yeah.
Or that transition, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a really interesting job because it afforded me the chance to learn more about publishing and advertising, two things I really didn't know very much about. It also gave me the chance to meet a lot of people. And because of that, I networked my way into an account service position with one of my clients at the recruitment marketing agencies. And that job was super exciting for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
One, it was in advertising, which I grew to love. And secondly, the agency was located on Madison Avenue in New York City.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, it was really cool. And it was, I worked right in the very hub of advertising. And of course, being in New York City was a bonus for all it offers.
Sure.
So, yeah. So I stayed with this agency for over 7 years, and I also worked for them in Atlanta as well.
Okay. Very cool.
But due to a relocation out to the Midwest, I began working for a competitor in the recruitment marketing space. And I worked as a branch manager and a director for them in Kansas City.
Okay.
And I put in over 7 years with that particular agency as well. And, and though my work experience is entrenched in advertising, the exposure to human resources, recruiting, employer branding, that combination, it's really given me a unique perspective on these functions. And I learned a lot about what makes them work and where there's still a lot of work to be done. And that ultimately has brought me to where I am today.
Okay, interesting. So how did you get involved with WorkScene, and what do you do there now?
Yeah. So today I am with a social media startup called WorkScene. And what WorkScene does is provide businesses with a sensible alternative to using social media for recruiting, employer branding, and showcasing their company culture.
Okay, interesting. So why did you guys decide to build WorkScene? I think there's a need for it, but I'm curious to know the
Mhm.
background behind why you guys decided to do WorkScene and the way you did, because using social media is a totally different angle, right?
Well, yes, in this perspective, it is. So, the confusion, the chaos, the complexity of using social media with WorkScene is removed from the equation because the WorkScene platform allows businesses to focus on talent acquisition on one social media platform versus trying to fit it into the business's other social spaces, where they promote products and people's vacation pictures are posted, and it eliminates the short lifespan of a tweet, and not to mention the porno bots on Twitter. So,
Sure. Yes.
so we've taken all of that out of the equation and simplified the process and made it more focused and made it more of a deliverable solution to the recruiting community.
Okay. So as an employer, how do I actually use WorkScene? Walk us through that.
Sure. Well, it's a very flexible platform.
Okay.
It's for any company, any size, any industry. So, we're new and we're going to learn a lot from the companies that are going to use this platform.
Okay.
But we are imagining that small companies that can't afford a career site, but still need something to show what it's like to work there, they're going to use this as their career site.
Okay.
Rather than spending $25,000 to go have one built. They're going to have one right here. Companies that are mid-sized, they can use it for what it is, a social media platform, and use it for recruiting people to come into their organization and attracting people to come into their organization. Larger companies, they can use it for specialty purposes. Maybe it's diversity and inclusion initiatives or veterans hiring. This is a beautiful tool, by the way, for campus recruiting.
Oh,
It's very flexible. Yeah, it's very flexible. We have a mobile app for the job seekers. So if, for example, I'm a college recruiter and I'm at an event at University of California, and I want to start putting up some pictures of the event, I'm able to take these photographs with my phone. I'm able to upload them to my WorkScene account, and I'm able to, Johnny on the spot, show people what's going on at this event and let people see how we're interacting with the students that we are discussing job opportunities with or internship opportunities with. So that's one example. Diversity and inclusion is another area where we are forecasting, anyway, companies will be able to use this platform. They can take this, and if they're, attending some events, job fairs that are specifically geared for diversity and inclusion, and they're on a little road tour around the country, and they're doing these kinds of events. Once again, just like the campus recruiter, they can upload pictures, they can, post comments, they can do videos if they wish. The whole purpose is really to show the world what you've got to offer as an employer. What is your value proposition? We know that when job seekers go out to job boards, for example, or go to companies' career sites to look for work, they're going to see job specs. They're going to see a laundry list of things that tell them what they must have, but don't really tell them much about the company, right?
Right.
So the WorkScene platform is going to be able to give people that peek inside the organization so they can better understand, what is this company like to work for? Do my values as a job seeker align with their job values? And that's very important, especially as young and newer talent enter into the workforce. They're not just looking for a job and a paycheck. Those things are certainly important, They're looking for a relationship with their potential employer, with a potential employer, I should say. So to be able to better understand if that relationship is going to work, they need to know more about the organization, aside from, I need to have these 10 qualifying things to be eligible to even apply for this particular job. So it's a more engaging, more transparent environment. And it gives companies that easy opportunity and that sensible opportunity to portray themselves in the way that they want to be looked at. So as people are considering them as an employer, they are strategically assessing, is this company a fit for me? And if not, I walk away. But those individuals who do align, they're going to become more engaged because now they know more about the organization.
No, it's quite fascinating because I think more and more people care and do a lot more research about the companies that they're potentially going to work for before they even apply, right? And if they don't agree with certain things, they might not even apply. Is that kind of fair to say?
That is very fair to say. So it's that saying, first impressions are lasting impressions.
Sure.
So, why would someone choose to have a boring, static job posting as a first impression when they can actually have more of the human side of their business exposed and create that engagement and create that connection with people? And I think businesses want to do that.
Sure.
But the current state of social media that preceded WorkScene, it really wasn't designed for recruiting. It didn't allow companies to just focus on talent acquisition or building out their employer brand. It was really more of it cast a wide net, because that's what social media is supposed to do. It's supposed to cast a wide net, right?
Yeah.
Because companies are trying to reach the buying audience. And that's great, but not everybody is going to be a good employee or a good employee fit for every organization. And what one company considers A-level talent, another company would not, because every company has its own personality, it has its own brand image, it has its own community, and those are the types of people that you're looking for that will fit in. You're not looking for just anybody. You're looking for the right people for your organization. So social media has been kind of clunky for people to use.
Sure.
The people that are interested in a business's WorkScene presence, for example, those are the people that are interested in your business as an employer. So they're not looking to, buy a Keurig from you. They're looking for an employment opportunity. So this is a much more targeted, more focused, and really just, I call it a more sensible platform, social media platform for businesses to use.
Okay, so just clarify what you mean by that, because are you building your own kind of social media network? Do you post to the current social media channels, a bit of both, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, so we are not affiliated with Twitter or
Sure.
Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or anything like that. We are a standalone platform.
Okay.
So WorkScene is a destination site. Companies can go in, they can either create a free account, which has limited availability of services, but it still gives them a presence.
Sure.
They can upload videos, they can upload pictures, they can even stream in their job postings if they are trying to create a one-stop shopping, if you will, kind of environment for job seekers. So we're trying to make this very inclusive, very easy. Everything's done online. Our pricing structure is very fair. It's designed for headcount. So if you're a small organization, it's a certain amount every month. If you're a larger organization, of course, you have a larger headcount, so it's more money for those businesses. So we've priced it very fairly. We want businesses to come in and use it. We want to be challenged by the needs that they have to make this work for them, and we're very excited about the feedback that we anticipate getting. So, we're inviting companies right now to come in, try this out, give us some feedback, and use this as the social media platform that it is. People should be taking the icon and placing it along with all of their other social icons, because that's what it is.
Gotcha.
So if all of your social media icons are in the upper right-hand corner on your website, go ahead and place your WorkScene icon up there as well. Put it in your email signature. Wherever you are going to encounter job seekers, that's where you should have your WorkScene icon, so people know, oh, I click on this, I'm going to go find out more about this organization.
Got you. Okay. And so as a job seeker, how does it work for me?
Yeah. So we have built opportunities for companies to create talent communities on their WorkScene platform.
Okay.
So as interested individuals come in and they want to they're looking for an opportunity at this company because it's one of the target organizations on their list, but there are no opportunities currently available. But I want to know as opportunities arise. So I'm going to join their talent community.
Okay.
And as jobs get posted, as information becomes available, I'm going to be notified via email. They're automatically behind the scenes by the organization, and I'm going to be kept in the loop on what's going on with them. I'm going to be made aware of upcoming job opportunities, and lo and behold, if one of the job opportunities that I am looking for should come up, I know immediately I'm going to be going over there. I'm going to check out what the job specs are, and I'm going to apply for that job.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. And then I'm assuming I can also kind of log in and check new opportunities and new companies as they get added to the platform?
You can join as a job seeker. You may join as many talent communities as you wish.
Gotcha.
These talent communities are closed. They are exclusive to each organization. So if I'm a job seeker and I have Amazon and Starbucks and 5 other companies on my target list, and these organizations are members of WorkScene and have a WorkScene presence, I'm going to go in and I'm going to join each of these closed communities so I can be made aware of what's going on with my target companies.
Got you. Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious, though, you mentioned something earlier that I find interesting from the companies that are recruiting. Do you want to talk about some ways to use WorkScene or other ideas that they can do to actually recruit what they consider top talent? Because it seems like a really hard thing to do right now for a lot of companies. So do you want to maybe give some advice and some thoughts around how can companies actually start to look to post online and actually recruit some of the top talent, or what they would consider top talent?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing is, we're not trying to solve the woes of social recruiting, which is different from recruiting on social media. And that oftentimes confuses people. And there are varying interpretations of social recruiting, but the most straightforward explanation is social recruiting is finding people via social media using people's profiles or personal blogs and other websites. What we're professing here at WorkScene is to help businesses build and showcase their workplace presence to attract the right people to their brand. So they're becoming a talent magnet rather than having to go out and to outwardly seek individuals for their organization. And this is especially important today. We know that over 92% of businesses attempt to use social media for recruiting. And I use the word attempt because many, many businesses fail at using it. One reason being the current form and function of social media, again, and I mentioned it a few minutes ago, it's just not designed to manage the recruiting process. It's designed for product and service promotions.
Sure.
And it's difficult to engage. It's riddled with most that has nothing to do with talent acquisition. And frankly, it's very clumsy. So, we are looking to streamline, simplify, take the complexity. People, for example, who use Facebook for recruiting or attempt to use it for recruiting, they're fighting an uphill battle. You're dealing with, grandma's pictures of the grandkids and people ranting and raving about Donald Trump and, people talking about the weather and people posting pictures of their vacations, which are all fine and lovely, but it's not talent acquisition or recruiting focused. And that's where it goes sideways. So as recruiters go in and they're working really hard and they're trying to make this work, they're really fighting an uphill battle because they just aren't able to connect with the right people because it's just not the right venue.
Sure. No, that makes sense. And even the people that are in charge of social media, it's hard to manage the company's corporate account and then their recruitment account and then maybe a handful of other accounts, right? And so just kind of freeing up time and being able to put everything into one platform for maybe your social media people to work inside of WorkScene, plus your recruitment team, plus whoever else, it makes a lot of sense, right? And your example of actually being out in the field somewhere at an event recruiting at a campus or a job fair or something like that, right? Potentially could be a handful of people across your company that maybe don't have access to all your social channels, but you could potentially give them access to your WorkScene account. Am I kind of on the right track with everything, or correct me if I'm wrong there?
No, that is absolutely spot on. And that is exactly what what WorkScene is supposed to do. It gives job seekers the opportunity to get more information from recruiters, employees at companies, and just businesses in general. So for the most part, again, job seekers are just getting those static, uninteresting job specs on job boards that don't really tell them anything about the company's culture. So, we know that creating enduring relationships with potential employees, it really ensures that a talent pipeline is well supported for the present and the future. And you can't start this soon enough. And we're not the only, company that has been, talking about building out talent pipelines and talent communities. These are how you keep your bronze and silver medalists warm and engaged while you hire those gold medalists, if you will. So, we want to give companies an opportunity to attract. So for us, the question isn't should businesses use social media for talent attraction. A better question is how should they be using social media for talent attraction?
Sure.
And frankly, to begin, businesses need to understand who's in their target audience. That's first and foremost. And social media, as we know it today, again, I mentioned, cast a wide net. So the catch is going to have more than just what you're looking for. And frankly, it's not effective, and it's not a good use of the recruiters or the hiring manager's time. So employers need to communicate and develop messaging where their target talent is going to be. And WorkScene will give them that opportunity to do that in a very precise and concise manner.
Interesting. Are you guys eventually going to do anything in the employee retention space, or you guys are just going to stick to actually just recruiting new staff?
Well, right now we're focused on helping companies to attract the right talent. Okay. This platform is very flexible. We know we're going to be surprised and pleased when organizations come to us and say, if your platform could do XYZ, that would make it so comprehensive for us, and we could really use that capability. we look forward to that opportunity to hearing, to having those conversations and better understanding what people's needs are. And we know that even though recruiting it's slow moving, it's one of those crawling kind of things. It is changing. We do have thought leaders and industry disruptors who are bringing more and more challenges to the table and helping people to understand if you keep doing it this way, you're never going to move the needle. You need to think about, considering this or whatever those thises are. So, we see this platform fitting in very nicely into that whole disruptive for the good kind of way that recruiting and human resources is going.
Okay. You guys also have a few kind of member and partner and brand ambassador programs. Do you want to talk about those 3 programs?
Yeah. So our agency partners are the recruitment and social media and public relations agencies, more in the traditional realm that exist. And then our brand ambassadors are those people who are going to be boots on the ground. So, at a certain point, we would like to have an individual or a few individuals from each of the major cities around the country actually living there, working there, and being able to go out and talk to some of these smaller organizations. Maybe it's the coffee shop down the street, or maybe it's Joe's Garage, or maybe it's the pizza place here. It's those individuals who may not have the wherewithal or the bandwidth to have discovered WorkScene. These individuals can bring this information to light for them and give them an opportunity to have a presence on WorkScene, to be able to use social media as a modern day contemporary employer, and to just be able to reach individuals and have individuals understand who they are as an organization and become potential employees, join their talent community, find out more about their organization. I wouldn't be surprised if people increase sales because of this, just because of the awareness factor of people finding out about some of the smaller organizations within their own community. So there's so many possibilities for this tool. It's really, I can see it evolving into different things or morphing into different things over time. It'll be very interesting, and the end users are going to help us to design that.
Sure. No, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious to know, did you guys raise a bunch of money? Did you self-fund, a bit of both, or how did you actually get this thing built?
It's all self-funded.
Okay.
Yes. It actually is a labor of love for those of us who have been involved for a couple of years. It's taken a few years to get this business standing. It's undergone a tremendous number of changes, and because it's self-serve, it had to be perfect. It has to be something that is very intuitive, again, very simple. We took all the complexity out of it, even just to sign up for an account. We took all the complexities out of it and made it as easy as possible for businesses to be able to go in, open an account, purchase whatever it is that they want, and to start using the product. So, where that takes us from there, we don't know. We know that there are a lot of angel investors and capital investors that are looking for opportunities to invest money in companies that show great potential. We believe our company shows great potential. So, those opportunities for investment may arise down the road as well.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. It's just always kind of curious to know how people get these things funded or at least built, right? And so you mentioned it took 2 years to actually go kind of live and let people use it. I'm curious to know, did you have a bunch of beta testers, or how did you guys go through some of the iterations to actually decide, okay, we're ready to launch this thing and actually start onboarding employees and employers?
Yeah. So it started off as with a different name and
Okay.
a different look and a different feel.
Okay.
And over the past couple of years, in discussing in really very long, deep discussions, we eventually agreed that this is the way that we want the product to look and perform, at least right out of the gate.
Okay.
And yes, we did have beta testers. Our founder, and I have to say, our founder really is the genius behind all of this. As a recruiter, he saw and experienced the pain points that recruiting faces with using social media for recruiting. So through his own angst, he came up with this product, or he came up with an idea for our product, I should say. And over the past few years, it eventually morphed and evolved into what we currently have standing right now. And what's funny is oftentimes when we talk to people about this product, they're a little bit stymied, and they'll stutter and they'll say, "Why didn't someone develop this before? We have so been needing this." That's a great question. I don't know. It is, and it's true. This has been something that's been needed for a very, very long time. Maybe it took someone like our founder, Michael, to experience the pain of what it's like, and to have to seek out a solution that doesn't exist. So fine, he created his own. So through that, now we're able to share it with the world.
No, it makes a lot of sense. And I'm actually on your WorkScene like company page right now. And it's interesting, just for people listening, like you can still include other widgets from other platforms. And I think the calendar stuff's kind of interesting. You guys pull in events and testimonials and documents and stuff like that. And you have videos and photos, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's quite interesting. Yeah, it's almost like a company's recruitment homepage, right? And it makes total sense. I totally get what you guys are doing. I think it makes a lot of sense, and you're right. The traditional kind of channels for this stuff, they're a bit broken for recruitment, right? So I totally get why you made WorkScene. So I'm curious though. Walk me through a little bit of the journey of actually being involved in creating something that took a couple of years. Like, were you guys doing this part-time or in the evenings and weekends, or a bit of both? Or how did it kind of come to be? Because I think some of these passion projects are nice, but when you're self-funding, you can't obviously just work on it full-time Monday to Friday for a couple years, right?
Right. That is absolutely true. So we are all employed in, full-time jobs aside from this. Yeah.
Okay.
So even though WorkScene, is a labor of love for us, it's, during its development process,
Sure.
was really a side hustle. So yes, weekends, nights, in between other meetings,
Sure.
all of the above. And, as someone who, as I'm an independent contractor,
Okay.
as my full-time gig, and vice president of strategic relations for WorkScene as my other gig, if you
Right.
will.
Got you.
And I learned as a contractor that you need to be very focused, very self-motivated, very organized, very determined. You have to be tenacious. You have to have a certain amount of patience, tempered with deliverance and deliberance, I should say. So, all of those things, I think we all have, all of us who have been involved with WorkScene for the past couple of years. and our founder, Michael, he's a perfectionist.
Okay.
He is someone that, it had to be absolutely, a pristine product because it is a self-serve product.
Right.
And we 100% support and agree with his decision to do it that way. And for us to look at it often and to reevaluate everything about it,
Sure.
where the layout of the website, the copy on the website, rather than make hasty decisions and launch something that may not be well received because people don't understand what it does, or
Sure.
it's too confusing. So really focusing on layout, copy, simplicity, and just letting people know that all hope is not gone, because there is a solution out there. It is specifically geared for recruiting, talent acquisition, employer branding, and really and for those companies that are small who say, oh, well, we don't focus on employer branding. Well, all companies have an employer brand first, I should say, but for those who maybe don't want to even get into that part of it, you still have a workplace culture, and it's one that it's vibrant, and it is what you want it to be. So it's organic, and it needs to be revealed to the world, because that is the only way that you're going to get the right people to come into your company.
No, I think that makes sense, and it's actually also really good advice, because I think you hear sometimes that if you really want to build a company, everybody needs to quit their full-time job and just go for it. But not everybody can do that, wants to do that. And there's no reason you can't do what you guys did. Just spend, some of the time in the day, evenings, weekends, and work at
Mm-hmm.
it, not full time, right? And you can still
Mm-hmm.
launch a product. Sure, it may take you a bit longer, but that's just the reality, right? And I think the myth
Yeah.
that you need to quit and go all in, it sometimes works out, it sometimes doesn't work out, and everywhere in between. And you don't have to do that, I guess, is the point I'm trying to get across. And I'm trying to use you guys as one really good example of doing that.
Mm-hmm. When you're starting up a company, and this is something I learned with WorkScene,
Okay.
Preparation is everything, right?
Okay.
Don't
Sure.
don't rush into doing something because you've got some predetermined deadline of when this has to go live and when this has to get out to the public. It's more important that the product be consumer ready. It's more important that you have a well-defined strategy for how you're going to market your organization, how you're going to determine your target audience, and how you're going to reach that target audience. It's much more important to be prepared than to be hasty and overly rushed. And oftentimes companies who do that, they fail because they lacked one thing. They lacked preparation.
Interesting. Is there any other advice that you've learned building your own startup that you would like to share with people?
It's a lot of fun. It's very exciting. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself, right?
Interesting.
You pull out skills that you didn't think you had, but you had them all along. You just never had the opportunity to maybe put them to use in the past.
Sure.
So it's a growing experience. Am I going to say it's all roses? It's roses, but there's some thorns in those roses too.
For sure.
You're gonna hit some obstacles, but that's okay, because those obstacles help you to learn what to avoid, what potentially could have gone wrong if you hadn't come across this obstacle. So they're all great, really great learning experiences. I really appreciate being with a startup, and it's something I never thought I would ever do.
Interesting.
I never thought I would be an independent contractor either.
Sure.
So, it's funny how people change, learn, grow, and frankly, as the employment market changes, and it's changed a lot in the past 10 years. I think people need to open their minds a bit, explore opportunities, and see what else is out there. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of opportunity.
No, I think that's really good advice. And it's interesting just to see where your career will take you, right? If you just be open to new opportunities and change and chase your passions. And it sounds like that's basically, an oversimplified version of your career, but you didn't know where you're going to be today. And I think it's great that you decided to be involved with a startup and are openly sharing your experiences with people like myself.
Well, thank you. I think all of us here at WorkScene, we've experienced, kind of that same thing, same job progression or career progression. And, that's what makes it work. And, we have a great team and a great leader. And, I couldn't be happier with my decision. So proud of our organization. And I love the fact that it solves a problem. Okay.
Sure.
People buy products and obtain services when they know it can solve a problem. And this product does solve a problem. And that's what makes me so proud. It makes me so happy to offer this to people. And it's such a great moment for us.
That's really great. But we're kind of coming to the end of the show. So let's close with mentioning where people can get more information about you guys and anything else you want to mention.
Sure. So you can find us at www.workscene, and that's WorkScene.com. You can find out more information about us there. And right now, because we are recently launched, we are offering companies who are interested in participating in our charter program a very nice discount. If you put in promo code B as in boy, T as in Tom, F as in future, 2019, in the promo code when prompted, you will receive a 50% discount off of a 6-month or longer program. And for those companies who just want to give it a test drive, we also have a free membership. You don't get all of the bells and whistles that the paid membership does, but it'll give you a taste test of the product, and we think you're going to love it, and you're going to end up buying it anyway. So that is what we are offering right now.
Perfect. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be on the show, and I look forward to keeping in touch with you, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Please visit our website at buildingthefutureshow.com to join the free community, sign up for our newsletter, or to sponsor the show. The music is done by Electric Mantra. You can check him out at electricmantra.com and keep building the future.